Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends fan channel exclusive retro carded Johnny Blaze, aka the Spirit of Vengeance, aka Overlord's favorite character in all of Marvel Comics, possibly of all time, and anything ever, Ghost Rider. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, kindly moving Mr. Blaze out of the way, not to be confused with Nick Cage. I already made that joke last week during the Spider-Man Noir review, not going to do it again. Okay, maybe later, but just freaking, first and foremost, I am not a carded guy at all. I open pretty much everything I buy or pick up. But god dang it, if Hasbro was going to introduce like resealable clamshells, this would have been the perfect candidate to do it with, because it almost makes me cry inside to throw this packaging away just because I don't have the real estate for it. It is a freaking massive, sexy 90s Ghost Rider card, and I freaking love it, and I don't want to get rid of it, but dang it, I have to because I don't have the space. If the time were to come where I had the extra money to pick up one of these and keep it carded, I probably would, but I said the same thing about the infamous 11 Spawn, and I wound up giving that away to somebody as a Christmas present. So it is what it is. There's the back. No cross-sell. Kind of bums me out because that means we didn't get away with these. Or not getting away with these. Just, it's got the little Danny Ketch riding across the bottom with the Johnny Blaze on it. I can't throw it. I at least can't throw it. I have to have some respect for this card for existing. So we're just going to set it off to the side and pray that the garbage pickup people and recycling pickup people have mercy on that glorious card, because that's going in the trash along with the Spider-Man retro cards I still have and the Iron Man retro card. It bums me out to do it, but I just don't have the real estate. So, as far as Ghost Rider's accessories go, because we actually do get some with this figure, whereas the other ones, not so much. We got a pair of skeleton hands here, because these are awesome and new and kind of remind me of the first movie where he had the flaming skeleton hands to start with, and then he got the spiked gloves later. Also kind of reminds me of the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider I reviewed for Halloween that had the flaming lower arms and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Still got the frog in my throat from the freaking Scarecrow review, man. Not sure what's going on with that. But I really like these. This hand is a grip hand, doesn't have the right hinge, but if you have the shotgun from Jigsaw or the Rider's Punisher, it does fit in this hand, and that's probably how I'm going to display this guy. And for those hands, he gets the little flame wraps go around his arms. Can we just say that this figure having the option to swap the hands out is a win in and of itself? On top of the fact he does come with an extra set of hands and some effects for those hands. He of course comes with his Hellfire chain, which has the nice silver that fades to the translucent orange. Kind of reddish orange, yellowish orange on the end there. So that's cool. We've only seen this like one time, I think. Because the first Ghost Rider on this buck did not come with jack squat other than the chain around his torso. And I still love that figure. And then we get the first all-human Johnny Blaze head. It does have some fire on it, yes. But it is a all-human Johnny Blaze head. We've seen a half and half in the Toy Biz days. There was that melting face variant, which I actually don't have because it's kind of expensive. But I do have the OG Toy Biz Ghost Rider. But we already did a comparison to that with the Rider's Ghost Rider, which I will leave a link in the description to that review, because that was my kind of tribute to Ghost Rider to celebrate his 50th anniversary, because Hasbro clearly didn't give a crap and only gave us this figure and a failed HasLab. So maybe they ought to let me do it next time, or Toy Shiz, or T-Biz, or the Ghost Rider cosplay on Instagram. I don't know, somebody who knows their Ghost Rider. Either way, You guys know I've been dogging on Legends a lot lately because A, it's fun, and B, it's warranted because they half-arse. Like, you can't half-arse a half-arse, dude. That's not allowed in this day and age. 2022 should be using some decent materials, giving us enough accessories to satisfy our displaying option needs, and just pumping out, you know, quality figures. And I could tell you wholeheartedly that this figure, unlike some of the ones I've been taking a look at recently, with the exception of Gore, is by far the farthest thing from hottest to hot garbage. This figure's quality is bar none some of the best I've seen in Legends over the past year. It is ridiculous. Like, this buck is like, what, almost 10 years old now? It's been used on Star-Lord twice, Ghost Rider 3 times, and the AIM Soldier 3 times. I think that's it? Maybe? And Spider-Man Noir, who I actually pulled out for comparison last week during the new Spider-Man Noir review, which that figure is hot garbage. So, not quite sure why this old buck is still good, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take an old buck that is good over a new buck that is just trash, okay? I don't care if it has pins. I don't care if it's dated. I don't care if the anatomy's kind of wonk, because it is. It is. The legs are kind of weird. Chest's kind of weird. The head sit's kind of funny. I don't care. It's Ghost Rider. I like it anyways. He could have a neck like a giraffe. I would still like it because it's Ghost Rider. I just call it the Giraffe Ghost Rider, okay? So, you know, my personal biases aside, how good is this figure? Well, if you don't have the previous two versions, I think this is probably the best one. The exception of the paint apps on the skull not being quite as detailed as the Rider's version. This one has the most color. It's got the black, it's got the gray, it's got the gray down the sides, it's got the gray pants, it's got the black boots. I think they should have painted the buckles, that would have been nice, but it is what it is. The belt is like a nice silver. I think the only thing holding it back is the chain on the torso. I might swap that out with the older one. Other than that, though, I really like this figure, man. This is a really solid figure. Is it top 10 of the year? You know what? I'm just going to say it right now. Yes, it is, because it's my freaking list, my freaking channel, my freaking rules, sucker. And Ghost Rider is my favorite character of pretty much anything ever. I like him more than Goliath from Gargoyles. I like him more than Spawn. I like him more than freaking my own character, Blade Killer. So, you know what? He's probably going to be on the top 10. Is it going to be number 1? Probably not, because I can't go that far. But I do love this figure, and I've loved it every time, and I love it now. So, you know what? Sue me. I'm a sucker. I'm the freaking... I will buy a piece of crap that's on fire with a motorcycle, like T-Biz would buy a piece of crap with a power harness from Masters of the Universe on it. I am that guy when it comes to Ghost Rider, okay? As far as articulation goes on this figure, it's got the single ball peg in the head, which you actually get a decent amount of range out of. It's got a jaw hinge, which is kind of loose on mine. I'm not digging that, but whatever. It is what it is. Could be worse. It is a little gummy. That is a little gummy compared to the previous versions, but that's fine. It's not tight to where it's pulling on anything, and it's, you know, tight enough to hold a pose, so I'll take it. It's fine. The shoulders go out to the side pretty far, considering. They go back down, rotate forward and back. It's got a bicep swivel. It's got a double elbow that works okay. Pretty decent range out of that. And it looks clean. It's not terrible. Top one's a little bit ugly, but the bottom one not so much. Wrist swivel and hinge. They don't have the right hinge, but it is what it is. That said, we do have options now. So you can pop these hands out and give him the proper hands at some point when you can dig them up. Or you can give him these frickin' awesome skeleton hands. Like, this is some freaking platinum god tier crap. I don't care if this is a reuse. Okay? Doing that and then adding this little flame effect, which I'm actually not that big of a fan of these. I think they're kind of wonky. This is the last figure I reviewed that came with these. Dormammu, I think. Maybe was it Firestar? Spidey and his amazing friends. Either way, doing that. This is just I freaking like that. I'm a sucker, okay? But you can clearly see the trigger finger there, so that's kind of why I'm probably gonna rock the shotgun with this dude. And we'll swap the other one out later. But he's got the ab crunch. It's pretty tight on mine. Works okay. He's got the waist swivel. He's got the T-jointed hips. Kick forward and back. Thigh cut, not gummy. Okay, not gummy on the other side either. It's tight, but it's not gummy. Okay. See this? You see this? It's not pulling. It's not tearing. Why the heck can't we get this all the freaking time? Really? This mold is like freaking ancient, dude. And it's not Sleepwalker, Sentry, Spider-Man Noir, Despair, any of those. Like, what? Freaking Pinless Black Panther's gummier than this guy. What the heck? It's got a double knee. Works good. It's got a hinge in the foot with the rocker. Peg holes at the bottom of the feet. But you don't need that, because he's got tight ankle joints and big feet, so he can stand up. Because Ghost Rider is amazing, because, you know, they're going to throw all the money at the best Marvel character there ever was and is. I don't care. Screw your, you know, D-list X-Men wave. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. I want a wave of Ghost Rider figures on this gosh darn retro card like yesterday. Why hasn't that happened? Because Kevin Feige hasn't stuck him in the MCU yet? Last I checked, he sucks and can eat a fat one. Like, hashtag fire Kevin Feige. I don't care. Give me what I want. Screw what everyone else wants. Really showing my YouTube toy review colors like right now. Because I'm being selfish. I want what I want, and I want it now. It's like, I am being the Queen's song right now. I want it all and I want it now. And I want a Ghost Rider wave and I wanted it yesterday. But hopefully when they do finally give us an updated Danny Ketch, he's not a turd sandwich. And he's good like Johnny Blaze here. But I really like this figure. It's my favorite of the Ghost Riders that I have on this body mold, I think. I would have liked a little bit more detail in the skull maybe, and maybe the jaw could have been a little tighter. That could just be mine, I don't know. They might all be like that, but I'd rather it was loose than tight and fragile, you know. This is also one of the taller Marvel Legends. He stands a bit taller than maybe he should, but I don't really care. I like him standing taller than other characters because he's Ghost Rider. Makes him intimidating, man. That said, side note, the neck is actually painted on this guy, where it is just solid clear plastic on the other one, so bonus points for that. But if you missed out on the previous Ghost Riders that go for a lot of money, even the Rhino Wave one that doesn't come with jack squat, this is the one to get. This is the best one, in my opinion. Other than the chain on the torso not being as detailed as the first release, and the skull not being as detailed as the Rider's Wave, that's really all I have to say about this figure. I still think it's the best. It comes with the most accessories for, you know, just the Ghost Rider base figure, and you really can't go wrong, man. So, with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Johnny Blaze, alongside good old Johnny Blaze, as well as good old Johnny Blaze. Can't believe that I did that, but I'm oh so very glad that I did. That said, we of course have both Ghost Riders from the Riders series and the Rhino Build-A-Figure series, and I gotta tell ya, come a long way since the Rhino Build-A-Figure series Ghost Rider, who came with nothing and had very little going on, to the Riders series, which is the one everyone wants, and unfortunately cannot have because of the massive freaking paywall on the secondary market. I mean, seriously, almost $200 for that thing nowadays. Can you freaking believe that? That's almost what the Hell Charger cost. Almost. That said, that is the most classic and tried and true traditional Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider if I ever saw one, right down to the dark blue and light blue jumpsuit, as well as the bike and the flame chain and the whatnot. That said, I think the white skull would work a little bit better with that version, but since the spinal cord is painted white only on this new version and not this older version, that isn't gonna work unless you're good with a hairdryer, can swap the necks out because they are glued in place. That said, if you did miss out on either of these previous Ghost Riders, this new one is definitely not one to pass up, because I still believe, with its faults, you know, the lack of detail in the skull, the loose jaw on mine, and some of the wonkiness because this is an older body, I still think this is definitely a figure to check out, one to pick up. If you don't have a Ghost Rider, don't sleep on this figure. I think it's definitely worth having and adding to your Marvel Legends collection if you are jonesing for a good old Johnny Blaze. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the beloved Spawn, who's back to towering over everyone as usual. He's been getting dwarfed as of late, so it's nice to see things getting back to normal here. And unfortunately, I can't get to my Neck of Goliath to do ye old, here's Overlord's top 3 favorite characters in action figure form all together, lone tier for my 3 favorite characters, hanging out, being buds, having adventures and this and that. It's just not going to happen this time, unfortunately. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the issues I mentioned previously, the only way that this figure could be any better than it already is I think, to go with that Johnny Blaze head, it would have been nice to get an interchangeable neck piece. Now, I know that's kind of a tall order, but considering there is no skeletal elements to that Johnny Blaze head, it does seem a little bit odd on this figure, at least when you look at it from certain angles and see the spinal cord, which again is painted. If it was translucent, it might have been a little bit easier to hide that. But either way, other than that, I would have liked some fist hands with the little fireball punchy effects and some pointing hands, because Ghost Rider is known for pointing at people and letting them know that they are indeed guilty, such as myself, because I guess one could say that this figure is a guilty pleasure of mine because it is on a dated buck. It does have many flaws, but at the end of the day, it's Ghost Rider, so I'm willing to omit all of those issues because it is my favorite character of all time. More than likely. Some days it's Spawn, some days it's Goliath, most days it's Spawn. It's Ghost Rider. I almost said most days it's Spawn, because I'm just so elated and excited and ecstatic and happy with this gosh darn figure because, well, Marvel Legends are taking the deep dive into the toilet, and this one thankfully didn't follow the rest of the turds inside. So you know what? I don't give a crap. It's my channel, my rules. I like this figure. If you don't, that's fine. But if you got a problem with me liking it, screw you. You suck. Kiss my butt. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review / rant / rave / whatever you want to call it. I don't care. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole or not. Again, I don't care. As well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions. If you ever want to talk toys or anything in particular, that is the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. Or not. I don't care. But as always, keep the comments civil. Or don't. Come at me. I'll just delete them. Either way, keep them civil. This world sucks enough as it is, especially when I know somebody's going to give me crap for liking this. And again, I don't care. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day. Or don't. I don't care.